Good evening. Welcome to Waking God's Child YouTube channel. I hope everyone's doing well tonight. Sorry I'm late and sorry it's been a while. Obviously, we've had quite a few things going on. I think all of us have lately. So my apologies to those of you out there that have been waiting. Right now, I'd like to ask for your patience. We're waiting for a few more to get into the studio here and watching what we're doing here. But I'm also going to put out a link here shortly in the chat asking that any of you brave enough that want to come on with me tonight, click the link. It'll walk you through. You'll put your name in there, and then it'll bring you to backstage, and then I'll bring you on as a guest. So if you're out there and you are watching, I'm going to go ahead and put that link in the chat here in just a second, if I can. Right now, I'm having a hard time moving this around, so I have not been on here in a while, and again, I apologize. It's been quite an ordeal, I think, with everyone. So with that said, I'm going to go ahead and put the link here in the chat. So whoever's brave enough, Kat, if you're in the crowd out there, here's your chance. Tasha, any of you, I would love to have you on as a guest host tonight. So just one moment while I get the link on here. Bear with me here, guys. It's been a wild ride the last few weeks, actually. So, all right, putting the link in now. I thought I was. Not yet, apparently. Trying to, though. All right. This is not letting me just yet. All right, let's try this one more time. Going back to chat, guys. My brain is fried. It feels fried, absolutely fried from this week I've had. It was a whirlwind before Thanksgiving, after Thanksgiving, and it's still ongoing. So why is this not? I cannot figure out why this is not letting me put this in the chat here. Okay, no, that's totally not what I was trying to do. So, come on. For some reason, it's not even letting any comments right now. So let's see what we got going on here. Yeah, for some reason, this is like not working very well. There's got to be something to it. All right, there we go. I think we got this. Okay, there's the link. I just put the link out there. So anyone brave enough to click on that link and come on here with me, let's do the dang thing. I'm ready. I know you're ready. I'm never ready. I'm not going to lie, but, we got to do what we got to do. So obviously, tonight we're talking about the human body and part of what a lot of us are experiencing with Morgellons, the human body's biofield and the way electromagnetic frequencies affect us. And a lot of this coming from the teachings of Sabrina Wallace. So here shortly, I'm going to be playing a clip from her regarding Morgellons, as well as all of today's technology that's being used on the human body and the human biofield. So as we know, there's all sorts of things going on, and I'm just going to put this out there right now. This is for entertainment purposes only. We're just having a cool, casual, calm discussion, folks. That's all we're doing over here in Texas, y'all. Okay, so I made that clear just for the algorithm reasons. But again, any of you watching, please click the link that I just put out there and come on and be a guest host, co-host with me. I can have actually up to 10 people on at a time. So if anyone's feeling lucky, today's your lucky day. So let's see someone get in here and do this, okay? In the meantime, I'm going to be sharing some of the Sabrina Wallace teachings here, and just an overview of what she has to say about this. I don't know if you all saw one of my most recent videos regarding her. I think it's like 2 or 3 videos back. But with that said, I'm going to go ahead and play her hopefully algorithm doesn't say, sayonara to me for doing that, because this woman's taken so much havoc, as have I and many of our channels. But with that said, her subject's our subject. It's her subject is our subject, and it is a very touchy subject. So I would just encourage all of you to just stick with it, keep putting the word out, no matter what, what people do say or what platforms you're on. They kick you off, get back on and do it again. That's all I can tell you. I mean, we don't have quit in us. I mean, if you're suffering from, any of the following, whether you're an experiencer or have Morgellons, or you consider yourself a targeted individual, or a conspiracy theorist that just so happens to, like, they're not conspiracies, they're facts, Jack, or just any of the above, I encourage you to not only participate in this, put your 2 cents in. This is how we learn. This is how we grow. Leave a comment. Also, again, I'm going to remind you that right there in the chat, I did put this little link here. So that is to encourage any or all of you, whoever would like to come on and guest host with me tonight. I would love to pick your brain, and we already know we don't get enough time to talk about the things that bother us and everything that we're experiencing, because the world doesn't allow for it. Most people are busy. They don't want to hear. They don't believe. And this is something that's ongoing and that we constantly deal with. And again, I know it's kind of late, guys. Like I said, I've had an extremely long day. Candy Nelson is still recouping, and her back has been in quite a bit of pain with her. Especially today, she told me, and I would rather her get the rest that she needs than try to sit up and hold a phone or do this restream video with us. Podcast can wait, but we can still go on. So again, if you're watching, please click that link up there. Click the link, come join me, be a guest host tonight with me. I'm waiting. I won't embarrass you, I promise. Just want to pick your brain. We have no reason to hide our heads in shame any longer, especially. This world's disgraced us enough, and I don't know about y'all, but I refuse to be a glutton for punishment anymore. It's going to stop. It stops like here and now, and it stopped for me, but I know many of you are new to this with what you're going through. And again, I realize that all of our journeys are different, but the biggest portion of them are very similar. So again, I want to say, click the link, join me tonight as a co-host. I can have up to 16 people on here. So if you're feeling it, just do it. Just go with it. Listen to your heart. And then here shortly, we've got 16 people watching as of right now. You guys drop a comment, who you are, where you're at, where you're watching from. Just want to know who's here, if you wouldn't mind. And once we get a few more, I'm going to start a little snippet of the Sabrina Wallace video regarding Morgellons disease, which I refer to as syndrome, or I don't even know if I call it that. I just call it, it's one of those things that shouldn't be, along with the human biofield and being used as a human Wi-Fi signal, and the biosensors going throughout the body, as well as the nanotechnology, graphene. All of these things factor into place, and Sabrina Wallace has an amazing way of explaining. Not only that, she knows she's worked for the government. She knows what she's doing. They wouldn't try so hard to get rid of her if what she were saying was not something to, be fearful of in their eyes. So, and keep that in mind. Any of the channels you see that get kicked off pretty swiftly, like I myself did there a few years back. I mean, I just kept signing back up, going back at it. But the thing is, that's usually how you know where your truth is coming from. And then those that stay on, and get away with seemingly more, they can say all the nonsense they want, but they stay on. But we come out with the truth, and we get kicked off. So you guys know, you're picking up what I'm putting down, or I just threw at you, and hopefully you had a catcher's mitt, because I do what I do, man. So sometimes I throw it hard. All right, guys, I am going to go ahead and start with a snippet of this. Again, if you're feeling it, don't worry. When you click on that link, it's not going to just immediately throw you on screen. What it's going to do is bring you backstage first, where you and I can see each other. No one else can, and you won't even go on or have to even be seen until you're ready. but I would like to encourage you all to do so. The link right here again, it's in the chat box there. Just click on it if it allows you to. If not, just copy and paste, put it in your browser, sign up, and get your booty on here. All right, so let me go ahead, and we're going to try to share a portion of this Sabrina's, her little concept on this. It's not a little concept, it's a big concept. But again, you guys, I'm sorry. I am so tired. I have had little to no sleep, lots of stress lately. It's been unbelievable. It really has. So, all right, we're going to share this screen here. We're going to go here. All righty. I'm going to have to make big here shortly. Bear with me. I'm still navigating through at a very slow turtle pace. And, okay. All right, here we go. Well, it's not big yet, is it? All right, un momento, por favor. We're going to get there, I promise. That actually went right up. I guess, usually I have candy on with me, and I have to put one up and another down, two up and one down. So, all right, guys.
So there is going to be a video going up called NSA Treasure Map and the Doden. However, while I was in the middle of doing that video, because here is the affidavit, which you can get from Finding K-Factor, affidavit of William E. Binney in opposition to defendant's renewed motion to dismiss second amended complaint, section 42, the NSA Treasure Map. Okay, so that's what I was going over. But then I went over to the X. I know, we're all thinking the same thing. Oh, Sabrina, why did you do that? Well, I can't say I'm surprised, folks, but apparently your brilliant person over there who thinks they know everything claimed that Morgellons is a mental illness. It's really unfortunate. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to post this study that debunked with 3 different case studies that Morgellons is a mental illness. Okay, and this is way back in 2012. We actually have Morgellons, I gotta dig it up again, all the way back to the 1600s. Okay, and interestingly enough, even in this article, all right, which clinical and experimental dermatology research, okay, the keywords Morgellons disease, digital dermatitis. All right, so then I'm like, all right, so how do follicular keratinocytes interact with nanosensors? That was my search after I read the paper. Nanoparticles and their interaction with the dermal barrier, NIH.
All right, guys, we're going to be
nanotechnology-based techniques for the hair follicle.
Just because
cellular response
I'm
of
going to be speaking over it, so I
keratinocytes
don't
to
get
the
any
entry.
copyright strikes.
Because the skin is a barrier until it starts magnetizing from the inside out, or optogenetics, and there's blue light involved with all this. Of course there is. And the interaction of dermatologically relevant nanoparticles, Science Direct 2014, aggregates retained in the hair follicle are protected from regular shedding and are prone to intense interactions with that hair follicle epithelium. Welcome back to the biofield, your interstitium, molecular communication, which has many vectors, including electrochemical. However, nanotechnology's frontier with combating infectious stuff about the biosensors,
right,
methodologies to evaluate the hair follicle targeted drug. What? MDPI 2023. The nano formulation can still present compositions in its development, have surface loads that interfere with the interaction with hair follicles, and on it goes. So then we have your thermal responsive type of nanoparticles for hair follicle regrowth. So different types of systems for, legitimate things like growing your hair back that people are using with tissue scaffolding. So I'm like, okay, what are your keratinocytes? Epithelial cells that make up the majority of the epidermis. Well, that's going to be all over the place in the way these sensor systems are communicating. And sure enough, That's why it turns up in tons and tons and tons of nanosensors. Immune function, and the immune system is 80% of that anatomy that people don't like talking about. Wow, I'm so surprised. Characterization and evolution of dermal filaments from patients with Morgellons. Okay, again with the digital dermatitis, because the nanowire is using the hair follicles in like everything that it does. Did we already forget? When we go to our electroquasi-static covert body area network from Purdue University. No, I am not kidding. I have tried to get you people to talk about the fact that in the W band, your skin is the physical layer. It's right there. Epidermis, conductive layers below the skin itself, and then we get down into the interstitium and the tissue and your bloodstream and the piezoelectricity of your bone conductivity. We have the different sensors that are made out of only your DNA or your tissue. We have the intra-body area networks, which are on the inside of you only. And we're not allowed to talk about a bit of it. It uses the skin with optogenetics, with the smart dust, with pressure, with the ultrasound. Then you'll yell, "That's impossible." Do you have a Fitbit? Do you know how your Fitbit works with intra-body communication? Probably not. There it is. Yeah, that whole thing I just listed off about microwave, millimeter wave, terahertz, and optical. And then your very high frequency, low frequency, see low frequency, inductive, capacitive, and galvanic skin response type of coupling. Yes.
All right, guys, I'm going to pause it there, right there for a second. Again, in order to let this go ahead and play and try to avoid, the algorithm, aka YouTube and jackholes taking this down, I have to stop it every once in a while, sometimes talk over it, and for good reason. So just bear with me. I'm going to continue on here. So let's just go ahead and FYI, I'm not sure. Did anyone join us yet? No, still have no actual comments or anyone that's clicked on the link. Okay, guys. Don't be shy now. Come on. All right. Well, that's okay. That's okay. I don't blame you. I don't want to be seen sometimes either. And actually, today's one of those days. All right, let's continue.
And the perturbation method of the ultrasound using pressure. We can use any of those networks, any of those vectors together or apart to elucidate the biological signal from the body that we want to measure. For what? Surveillance and reconnaissance, the Internet of Medical Things, the Industrial Internet of Things, your smart home, a smart building, search and rescue, wound healing, anything we want, because it's the Internet of Medical Things. And intra-body communication is 802.15.4. In the 802.15 working group, in which your body is the node on the network. Okay? So what ends up happening every single time that we talk about this, you're going to end up back at the beginning with your skin being the physical layer. And how do they get into your skin? Well, check it out. You got your Bluetooth, you've got your millimeter wave, you have specialized MAC IDs, and then all the...
So hopefully you guys are following this so far. And again, I apologize for the interruptions. I absolutely have to. Otherwise, we're not going to be able to watch it all the way through. But please do remember that this is Sabrina Wallace's channel. You can find her under ASM, I believe, is what she has her channel under, which I know it's... I can't think of the name of it off my head of why it's ASM. I do know this typically, but, again, somebody stole my brain nuggets today. So anyways, we will carry on. Here we go now. Maybe.
Different ways that I just showed you here in your inter-body communications. One more time. This is the back end of the Internet of Medical Things, whether or not you have a pacemaker or an insulin pump, or you're using your LifeWave patches or any of the terahertz wands. It's all going to be monitored by ICT, which is information and communication technology. It's a Fitbit. It's a wearable. It's being monitored. And the way that the doctors use their different pacemakers and
Yeah, how you like
insulin
your
pumps,
Apple
that would
Watches
be
now
eHealth and
and everything
mHealth.
else.
That is monitored for a long time in order to ensure that your body doesn't get electrocuted, Dick Cheney's pacemaker, etc. So, Morgellons, you mean digital dermatitis? But why? Did you tell him that their skin is the physical layer of computer networking through the body? No, we did. So they call it digital dermatitis because it's those filaments, dermal or dermatological filaments.
Lots of filaments, guys. Lots and lots of filaments, it seems like. All right, let's carry on.
Are sometimes nanowire. They call it spores something else. I'll get there in a second.
Spores.
And they know this because the nanowire is flowing through the bloodstream and broadcasting on the Internet of Bio-Nano things. And some people's immune systems really don't like those networks and end up creating, what do they call it? An automatic immune problem. They call it spores something else. I'll get there in a second.
All right, guys.
And this gets more into the layering effect we're doing with the terahertz and all the different matricey layers, lattice layers that they.
All right, so you guys did catch that, right? She's trying to say, some of the bodies don't like it, hence the word, the term Morgellons, where your body is obviously rejecting what should not be there. It's rejecting it, spitting out just as it would a splinter or a piercing. Some people are allergic to gold or I don't know, heavy metals in general, and the body will push it out through the surface of the skin. Does it sound familiar? And I know it does to you all. But for those of you watching that have no clue about Morgellons or have not heard of it, just please take this and apply it to your mind, your body, your soul, because this is very real and happening to, at this point, millions of us. If, in my opinion, the entire world is holding this little demon of a thing inside of their bodies. And some of our bodies know that it shouldn't be there. And that's just how I see it. And Sabrina sees it as well. So let's carry on.
Did we already forget? When we go to our electroquasi-static,
got a little bit back here.
Covert body communication, probably not. There it is. Bluetooth, you've got your millimeter wave, you have specialized MAC IDs, and then all the different ways that I just showed you here in your interbody communications. One more time, this is the back end of the Internet of Medical Things, whether or not you have a pacemaker or an insulin pump, or you're using your LifeWave patches or any of the terahertz wands, it's all going to be monitored by ICT, which is information and communication technology. It's a Fitbit, it's a wearable, it's being monitored. And the way that the doctors use their different pacemakers and insulin pumps, that would be eHealth and mHealth. That is monitored for a long time in order to ensure that your body doesn't get electrocuted, Dick Cheney's pacemaker, etc. So, Morgellons, you mean digital dermatitis? But why? Did you tell him that their skin is the physical layer of computer networking through the body? No, we did. So they call it digital dermatitis because it's those filaments, dermal or dermatological filaments, are sometimes nanowire. They call it spores something else. I'll get there in a second. And they know this because the nanowire is flowing through the bloodstream and broadcasting on the Internet of Bio-Nano things.
Wow.
And some people's immune systems really don't like those networks and end up creating, what do they call it? An automatic immune problem called an autoimmune disorder. Are you using the human body as a node on your network? And are you using the human skin to get out and get in? Yes, the human skin is the physical layer. Did you tell anybody you're logging in and out of their body? No.
Did they ask?
You've been seeing.
No, they didn't even ask, did they? All right, again, I apologize if y'all are just tuning in. I'm going to have to be pausing this periodically, as well as you'll hear me speaking and talking over her, and you're going to think, gosh, she is so rude. Why didn't she just let the lady talk? I do this for the reason of, censorship is real, first and foremost. The longer I let it play, it will draw the attention eventually of the algorithm if it hasn't already. But again, I'm going to keep saying for entertainment purposes only, and it's just a simple discussion, live action role play, folks. Okay, so, and then when I pause it, it's because I do not want to get flagged for any type of copyrights, even though Sabrina, is full-fledged about, people sharing and knowing about this. It's not how the algorithm works or these platforms such as BoobyTube. Yeah, no pun intended, BoobyTube. Here we go. I'm just going to carry on now.
This as a problem in dermatology for a long time. Nanoparticles and their interactions with the dermal barrier. Dermal applications of drugs, particle penetration, mechanical stress. And why? Because it is difficult to get in the skin without a little help. Structure of microbial nanowires reveals stacked hemes that transport electrons over micrometers. And this gets more into the layering effect we're doing with the terahertz and all the different matricey layers, lattice layers that they use with metamaterials. Then there's the DNA origami protein folding and the wireless drugging. But nanowire dermal filaments, which is this search, you can read all about it all over the place for the different ways that they're using nanotechnology in healthcare. Right back at it again. We are with the Intra-Bio Nano Things Networks. No, not Insta.
Okay, you guys are following, right? I know you're following this. I know you're picking up what she's putting down. Most of you that have Morgellons are in complete understanding, or those of you that are aware that your body is getting rid of this nonsense. And again, I myself don't look at Morgellons as a thing. I think it's just a very small piece of a quite massive puzzle, and it all intricately interconnects right down to the very last drone you see in the sky, or unidentified or shadow figure you see go across the foot of your bed, or whatever you want to call it. I believe this is where nanoswarms and nanotechnology falls into place. And something I've been saying, and I was shocked to hear Sabrina, actually, she interconnected this much more nicely and neatly than I ever thought to. But this woman's like above and beyond when it comes to knowing her stuff, and for good reason. She's got a background in a lot of this, and she's suffered and paid consequences for it, I assure you. Okay, let's continue.
Bio nano things, those IOBNT, Internet of Bio Nano Things, networks. Okay, that's the network of those teeny tiny biocompatible nanoscale devices like the smart dust that can communicate with each other and the internet, allowing for direct interaction with biological systems within the human body or environment, enabling advanced sensing, sosomosa, osa, etc., and control of biological processes through no Santa Claus, no stork, molecular communication, and other non-conventional beam steering free space optical means. Essentially, it's a concept over at Cambridge and everywhere else since 2011, in which nano-sized devices can connect and exchange data within a network. The Intra-Bio Nano Things networks are on that intra-body network. Now, what is intra-body communication? This is where we always start with you people that can't deal with the fact that the physical layer of computer networking, when we tether your posterior and your whole nervous system to the same cloud you use with your phone, is your skin. Okay?
Guys got
But right here on this site, intra-body communication is the promising wireless technology you're using.
Okay, you guys just understood that what your skin is actually doing in this case, right? What everyone's skin is doing. And I think this goes for animals and everything else as well. Because again, whenever things are raining down on your parade, what goes up must come down, so to speak. It would be impossible to not have the entire world afflicted and affected in one way or the other. So just say no, to comical trails. That's what we'll call them today. All right, we're going to carry on and continue here.
With your Fitbit. And that's why I said you have an Internet of Medical Things to ensure that all medical things Terahertz ones, your pacemaker, whatever, are being watched over at the industrial level for your safety with biological surveillance and cyber biological security. There she is. And it uses your body as the node on the network, just like Deloitte and the blockchain tell you. W-band blockchain from the ResearchGate.
Y'all should definitely Google a lot of this. Not like Google
blockchain-enabled W-band architecture. We're going to zoom in on that layer 1. It says intra-body area network. Okay, that is exactly what we're looking at, intra-body communication. Okay, and when we scroll down, when was it studied? 1996. We're using it with everything all the time. It is the common architecture for the body area network since 1995. So what is at Purdue University layer 1? The skin and the conductive layers below the skin, known as the interstitium, also reflected at HDIC, Casualty Nanotechnology Wound Care at the DoD. So anybody telling you that Morgellons is somehow some magical thing, they don't know what it is, you need to look up nanowire and understand, because, or rather, how does nanowire interact with the skin? Because it'll tell you that the skin is relatively impermeable to nanomaterials, but systemic exposure is a concern because of the way the skin is the largest organ in the body. Oh, there goes the smart dust. And in our Towards Terahertz Aware nano paper, it shows you how the networks of intrabio nano things communicate with one another, because they're all...
Pausing for a moment. Again, I will explain again for those that just joined. I noticed that we've got a growing group here. So I'm going to occasionally pause this, and sometimes you're going to hear me talk over it to avoid copyright strikes, as well as getting this video flagged and my butt removed again for simply sharing and telling the truth. As you know, Sabrina has been removed from YouTube and multiple platforms multiple times for just telling the truth. And, you know, you can put things about Bigfoot and, you know, all these cryptid type monsters all day long. You can put that, and you can even put an alien agenda, you know, and being abducted all day long. You can post that on YouTube, folks, on any platform. You're not going to get flagged, and you're not going to get taken down. But you know what? Those people swear by it, right? So, and I believe them. Don't get me wrong, but there's a difference here. One's spiritual warfare. But long story short, just keep in mind, when people like us are getting taken down or getting dubbed as delusional for something that is scientifically explainable, and most certainly is possible and has been, and all of you that got on board to the, you know, making us a laughing stock, go ahead and open mouth and insert foot now, if you wouldn't mind. In fact, put both feet in just for good measure. I'm just saying that wasn't nice. I will try to refrain from doing that again, but I kind of meant it. All right, let's carry on.
Already inside of you, and then they work on the outside of you too. The working principle, see other videos. The working principle of nanowire-based sensors is the alteration in electrical conductivity. Well, that brings us back to our exogenous stimuli that is also listed here in your intra-body communication. Microwave, millimeter wave, terahertz, and all that. Yeah, there she is. That's why not telling people about the way this system really works, that it is not illegal, that the reason you have so many MAC IDs is because of all the different little networks that they're using to listen to your biological signals, which are created by you, breathing, walking around, whatever. And there you are in your body area network, the mesh networks, the wireless around your head, and the intra-body area network is 802.15.4, and it's the one that has all sorts of connectivity going back and forth with molecular communication, diffusion, Brownian motion, IEEE Communication Society 2014. Once again, using your skin, the pressure of your blood flowing through your veins and arteries.
I will just say this again, as I have to. This is for entertainment purposes only. This is live action role play. We're just discussing some things that are amusing to us, no different than Bigfoot or aliens or anything else, except for this one's real, but it's also just entertainment. Okay, so read between the lines. You're going to have to. again, we live in a world of technology now, and technology has seemingly taken over if you have not noticed and woken up to that yet. But if not, you will. And if you don't, sorry, sayonara.
That paper too, might as well. Towards terahertz, location aware, position, navigation, and timing. Here you are with your haptic gear, smart textile, okay? And we have wake up radio. We have the wake up radio using the ultrasound, as you can see here on the left with the beam steering, to wake up nanonodes that are passively flowing in the bloodstream. They're just hanging out. They're not doing nothing. They're just there, and then they wake up. And that's from your software-defined networking or your software-defined metamaterial-based body area network node that can be looking for energy harvesting or just need to wake up and communicate some biosignals for the doctor who's polling, P-O-L-L-I-N-G,
When they go
for your body, for like your pacemaker or your insulin pump or whatever reason that you're wired into mHealth, eHealth, telehealth, okay? Could be post-surgery, could be watching for other things after you've had heart surgery. These are well known in the medical industry. Here we are 8 years ago with W-band Omnet, okay? So you are a node on the network. The nano is everywhere in what you drink, what you eat, what you breathe. So if you were injected with the biocyber interface, it's easier to change out your cells and your system, take your cancer away in 48 hours. But that doesn't mean that that is what they're doing. It depends on your environment. What did you sign up for? Does somebody have a login to your body area network? Have you been involved with people who are involved with that type of technology? I mean,
first of all, y'all, just ask yourselves, what is a virus? When you get a virus on your computer, it is obviously a man-made virus. All viruses are what? Man-made, right? You have to install antivirus programs in order to get rid of the virus on your computer, and your body is no different. But if you got a smartwatch, you got a smartphone, and you got one of those little cute little ringsy thingsies that you put on your finger, and it's constantly monitoring you, what do you think you're wired into? And how do you think they're tapping into you? I mean, it is a no-brainer if there's sensors throughout your whole entire being. And with that said, once again, for entertainment purposes only, live action role play, and I will let Sabrina carry on because the girl knows.
There's a lot of different things to consider with how much, or rather how affected you're going to be by these technologies, of which there are many. The InterBio NanoThings networks are a redundancy network, in my opinion, for all the free space optical and the digital twin work they've been doing with the Pentagon for 50 years. And the nanosensors are absolutely written in the engineering that way to make more use of optogenetics, to make more use of the ultrasound here, okay? And the terahertz is your short range. So because the nano networks on that 802.15.4 are going to tell your cells what to do, your body itself, your immune system is going to be quelled severely. Then the nanowire is going to start growing and reassembling itself. And for those of you that don't understand that reassembly is real, I got another biological video coming up for you. So the localization of the nanonodes, wake up radio and location-based addressing, this is for precision AI healthcare. They've been practicing only logging into the pacemaker or the insulin pump, endoscopy, Abilify pills, so that they only hit the tissue and the part of the area of the body inside the body that they want to. So that's why your 802.15.4, for example, if you just had gallbladder surgery or you just had your liver removed, then we only want to look at those areas and we want to be sensitive to the temperature of the tissue, the viscosity of the blood.
All right, guys, again, I'm going to have to keep pausing, talking over, sounding completely rude and careless, like I don't know what I'm doing, but I do, because I do not want this removed. I do not want it flagged. And the times that you get flagged are typically when you let things continue on and stay on a subject without being interrupted by blatant messes like myself. So you're welcome. I'll take a bow now. All right, let's carry on.
Flow, the elastoviscosity of the veins, the arteries, the capillaries being tapped for the software-defined networks of nano in the body networks. Yeah, that's in the routing. It's very complex, okay? No, I'm not joking around. I'm very serious. That's why this is so frustrating, to me at least, because I know that you guys out there as biomedical engineers, you've broken this all down since 2011, and it's all laid out for all the different precision AI and mHealth and eHealth that you already deployed. So I don't understand, see, software-defined metamaterials, I don't understand why we're still dancing around telling people that you're so confused of what pandemic, where, and how. You're legit under the skin of, in the bone marrow and outside of it, and in the intracardiac network of every human body we've got.
Unbelievable.
Period.
It's unbelievable.
How deep you are, how often you're checking them, that's a load balancing discussion dependent upon the interest of the chemical architecture of the particulate in the atmosphere for the population as a matter of national security again. Just saying, biological, chemical, nuclear people. Anyways, so molecular communication and emerging communication paradigm in 2004.
Is anyone at all that's not familiar with this topic picking up what she is putting down? I know all of you guys on here that have this, been through it, been my subscribers forever and a day, as well as my good friends. I know you guys know, but anyone new watching, because we have quite a few watching right now, are you guys picking up what she's putting down? Because this is in your face, blatant stuff, folks. It is right there, knocking on your door, saying hello, because it's time to pay attention. I mean, there's consequences that's going to be severely paid by us if we don't start paying attention. And I am just saying it's going to take an army, quite literally. All right, Sabrina, you may carry on. You're awesome.
14, you've been load balancing body area networks. So the Internet of Bio-Nano Things has that bio-cyber interface, okay? And that's coming down from your ITU and everywhere else in the world, because the Internet of Bio-Nano Things allows them to perform AI precision healthcare. You're welcome. So anybody who tells you they don't know what Morgellons is, yes, they do.
You are welcome.
Yes, they do. You want to go take a look at these different dermatological papers, and you'll be able to find everything you're looking for.
You're welcome.
It's the endocrine system, and that's where they're playing. So they know, and they know that it's going to cause a ton of autoimmune, and some people are going to have functions that, with the protein folding as well, that kick the stuff out of their skin. There's the mycelial networks. Check it out. Look where the keratinocytes are, okay? Look where they are. You have up on the top, and you have your interstitium down here, and you've got all these different pluripotent stem cell nerves, which you know they're playing with, because that's their whole thing. Look where your keratinocyte images, look where they are. And then you come back over here, and look where your information communication technology is. Same place. Yeah. Because the physical layer of computer networking through the body is the skin. Okay. So they know, and they've been working on it with different sensors and changing up how they're doing things.
1994, right? Folks. Okay.
So again, the same dude. You seeing this? Watch. I know it all. I've built a product that's going to save you. But I have no idea about molecular communication or electroquasi-static covert body area network through skin, blood, bone, and tissue that is now communicating since 2014 in free space.
All right, guys, I've got to pause it here, and I know she's getting to the good stuff. I am going to back it up just a little bit here in a second, but this is probably the part that most of you are wanting to hear, need to hear, and we all need to hear. But keep in mind, I mean, she's dead on. I mean, this is all scientific. It is all non-conspiratorial. On one side it is, but not on our side. It's not like we're theorists, like we're truthers. This is what's happening. Sabrina nails it. She's crucifying them. But this is for entertainment purposes only, algorithm, because Lord forbid we just don't get to use any of our human rights anymore. I don't even know what happened to those, and nobody seems to be questioning it except for those of us that are suffering. But hey, what do I know? A hell of a lot more than most of them, and all of you do too. So, yeehaw, let's go. All right.
Optical with the terahertz reductionist math that is in with different sensors and changing up how they're doing things. All right. So again, the same dude. You seeing this? Watch. I know it all. I've built a product that's going to save you. But I have no idea about molecular communication or electroquasi-static covert body area network through skin, blood, bone, and tissue that is now communicating since 2014 in free space optical with the terahertz reductionist math that is in use by private networks ran by our Pentagon. And the reason I don't know any of that, or I don't want you to know any of that, is because that way you'll give me however much money, $2,000, $800, 3,000, 5,000, to sell you something beautiful to put on your desk. Talking about them boxes, man, that they have at our Dollar General here in West Virginia.
All right, guys, you guys are getting this,
because
right?
It's the bacteria itself that we're using as the carrier. Where's the chipset? You are the chipset.
Potato chips.
Good job. Did you tell people they're connected to the cloud as a matter of literal international security? No. Did you tell them you're using their own human anatomy to do this? Nope. Definitely not. No. The end user are the doctors and nurses. That's why they're in almost every image. Yeah. Isn't that kind of weird? Still can't get any of them to admit that they're logging into those plasmids and making and creating what they want to. They'll talk about it at universities worldwide. Everybody else gets to talk about that biocyber interface, the corona effect of the cell structure with electroporation, but the rest of us are waiting on the Book of Revelation and the Immaculate Constellation, rather than, what are you doing under people's skin all this time?
Shame on them.
Excuse me. Yeah, it's kind of weird, isn't it? I mean, you would think that if here's medium and you can't talk about it. No, there's Morgellons.
They take you away. Like
I would say that when you're using the skin at this level with all these membranous and protein folding going on for our synthetic biology and our plasmids and molecular communication, and given that the skin is layer 1 in intra-body area networking. Here, hang on. What is the physical OSI layer of the W-band? The lowest layer is managing transmission, but I must have said it wrong. Hang on.
So I'm not going to be able to let this play all the way through this evening, but just wanted to share this with you guys. For those of you interested in, getting some more information, again, Sabrina Wallace's page is ASM. This is her channel here. I don't know where that R came from. Apparently, I was going for some soothing noises earlier. But long story short, this is her, Sabrina Wallace. She has several different platforms. She gets banned quite a bit. This one in particular was as of February 10th of 2025, so almost a year ago, involving Morgellons. This is her channel. We click on this. And I would recommend each and every one of you, all of you, you don't have to agree or not agree. The woman knows her stuff. It's so obvious that it's scientifically proven. So it's not like, we're some crazies, although you guys sure would like to think so. Excuse me. But I mean, it is very obvious this is going on. I mean, hello, the whole world wore muzzles over their faces, after the Crown Royal number 1 and number 9, and nobody seemed to question anything. Like, oh my gosh, let me get that little poke. Hurry up. And I'm not trying to put anyone down that did, because my gosh, my whole family were like probably the first in line. Like, okay, not even the point. That was just a practice run. The point is, no pun intended, boink. The point is that she makes a good point. She makes a valid point. She makes the most valid point, and she proves what all of us are going through. She is just, she is honest, and she's tired of it, just like we are. So, but you'll get a just for her channel here. I mean, she's got just some great videos. I'm glad they put her back on when YouTube allowed some of these channels back. Hers was one of them. They kicked her off multiple times. Again, they've kicked me off. I had to recreate my channel as well. And for some reason, after, you go from 50,000 subscribers, get kicked off, and then your numbers never, ever grow. My numbers have not moved or budged, but yet I have people telling me I'm a new subscriber every single day. So you tell me, YouTube, what's up? Because I'm not the only one saying it. There's a lot of people saying this, that, these social media platforms are, platforms as far as I'm concerned. So with that said, we did not have any takers tonight on the on clicking the link to join as a co-host, but that is okay, because we actually had this going on, and I am tired. I am so tired. But stay tuned. I am going to see if I can reach out to Sabrina. I'm going to do my very best to see if she would allow me to have her as a guest on this channel. I adore her. I adore her mind. I appreciate her more than words can say. And I know many, if not all of you, do as well. And with that said, I'm going to wish you all a very good and blessed, restful evening, a great weekend. Just remember, we cannot give Satan the gratification of winning this war here on earth. The war has already been won, and we know that. But one thing that I know and I'm certain of is I have grown through this affliction, or whatever you want to call it. There have been so many blessings in this storm, and it's a choice, and it's how we choose to look at it. It's how we choose to handle it. And, we don't have to know who or why they're doing things, because it's obvious who and why when Satan's the ruler and the leader and the principalities of evil in the air and here on earth. It's so obvious. It's been obvious. We were told that, and many forgot, and that's okay. But I hope you remember pretty quick. But I mean, the whole point is we can count our blessings in a storm, and there are lots of blessings. And again, I've never been so humbled in all my life. Well, when you have the world strip you of your dignity, of your freedom, of everything, like I was taken from my child. I mean, my dignity completely stripped, when you're covered from head to toe and lesions from this stuff trying to exit your body, or how, just exactly as she described, in the dermal layer of the skin, where some bodies, no, it shouldn't be there. But we were persecuted. We are persecuted. But it's okay, because guess what? From that persecution, warriors rose up like you have never seen. And from there's no stopping us, because rock bottom is the meeting place, right? Rock bottom is a good place to be, because once you're there, there's only one way to go from there, and that is up. And we are rising. And Satan, you've fallen. We're rising up. So, all right, guys, love you. And I am ending this stream. Blessings, you guys, all of you. Thank you for joining. Sorry I was so short and sloppy. Story of my life. Probably should have been my nickname. Have a blessed one, guys. Talk to you soon. And till then, love ya.